Happy Tuesday, everybody. In lieu of Easter, I decided to do a month of eggs. Not rabbit eggs, but eggs. Today, we're gonna do an egg drop shrimp miso soup. Let's get separating eggs. Shrimp miso soup with egg drops. First, we're gonna take our fish stock and we're gonna bring it to a boil. While we're bringing it to a boil, we're gonna steep some seaweed. This is the nori that they use on the outside, or if you do inside out rolls, on the inside of a sushi roll. This is gonna give us a nice little seaweed, earthy flavor. So we're gonna warm our fish stock up with that. We're then going to add chopped garlic and a puree of fresh ginger. That's gonna give us that miso Asian flair. So put all that in, bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna bring it down to a simmer. While that's happening, we're gonna separate our eggs so we can make the egg drop soup. So we separate our eggs, whites, simple process, yolks, no yolks in the egg whites. All right, so we're taking our fish stock with our seaweed, ginger, and garlic, and we've steeped it simmering for about 10 minutes. At this point, we're gonna take the seaweed out of it because it's gonna get all soft and make a mess into your soup. We just really want the flavor, but we don't want the actual seaweed. So we throw it out away and then put it back on the flame, bring it to a boil. We're gonna add our shrimp because we want our shrimp to be cooked. Shrimp only take about 4 minutes to cook, so we don't want to overcook them. We just want to make them so that the insides are all white. There's no translucent in it. And then while that's happening, we're gonna whip our yolks. When this comes to a boil, we're gonna temper our egg yolks, which means we take the hot liquid from the soup and we add it slowly to our egg yolks so they don't break. We don't want scrambled eggs in our egg drop soup. We want to use the yolks as a thickening agent. Right before it comes to a boil, we're gonna add a drop into our yolks, and then we're gonna incorporate it. It should be in and around body temperature. See, I'm holding it, so it's probably the same temperature as my body. And then once the eggs have tempered, we're gonna whip it into our soup. This is gonna thicken our soup as well. It's gonna give us a nice body of sorts. When it comes to a simmer, we're then gonna egg drop soup. Take the whites. We're gonna give the whites a little aeration, just a little bit. We don't want meringue in our soup. We want to just put a little air in it so that the egg whites float and they take to the soup. As you can see, the yolks starting to come to a boil. The yolks are making it a little bit thick. So then we start to drop a little bit at a time. Into our soup, just enough so that the whites cook. You don't want an egg raft. And then the last of it is there. As soon as this comes to a boil, we're gonna turn it off because we don't want it to break. And then at this point, as you can see, the egg whites have started to coagulate. That's a good thing. And then at this point, we're gonna add our miso paste, which is fermented soybeans. You can buy it in any supermarket. This is gonna give us the salt, the meat. Yeah, this is miso. And we're gonna whip that in, stir it in. You wanna do this slow because I can feel the eggs starting to stick at the bottom. And once they start sticking, they start burning. So we wanna do this on a slow, low heat. And that way we'll have our rich shrimp egg drop soup. Now let's find a bowl. I'm thinking something like this. I'm gonna take a little chopped cilantro and put it on the bottom of the bowl. And I'm gonna take some scallions as well, do the same. That way the flavors impart as soon as the soup hits the bowl. All right, here we go. egg drop miso soup with shrimp. And just like that, our first egg part of April is shrimp miso egg drop soup.